The lost knowledge of human civilization. All over the world, more hidden truths are revealing on a range of topics that are slowly coming into view through concerned groups that are growing larger by the day, which are public citizen investigators sharing their research findings. It is the concerned public citizen with powers of critical thinking and investigative inquiry that desire to find the truth, that begin to ask the right questions of the control narrative we've been told. As a result of these groups' investigative efforts and sharing their research online with others, this generates a big ripple effect for disclosure. This starts to uncover inconsistencies, obvious cover stories, wrong and mismatched dates of supposed events in our history. The spirit of truth-seeking lays the groundwork for revealing the many lies and deceptions that the human race has been told by the supposed authorities put in charge of telling us about our history, timelines, wars, public figures, presidents, inventors, artists and so forth, which begins to bring clarity to the many tall tales told about the origins of ancient civilizations on the Earth, and how this supposedly led humanity into the current culture. Humans on the planet Earth are in the midst of a war over energy, which is a war over consciousness, as well as a war over timelines, while most of the human population are asleep to this fact. Tesla told us that ether behaves as a liquid for matter and as a solid for light and heat, and the other geometries act as the building blocks of our matrix, which need the structural framework of the ether component. Catastrophic flooding, earthquakes and volcanic activity have been a major tool of the Na to bury, hide and destroy ancient artifacts, structures and buildings that reflect an established human culture, as well as the remaining evidence of advanced technologies of human civilization. As recent as the late 1800s, major global flooding occurred, yet the historical evidence of this catastrophic event was totally erased from public knowledge, while the controllers pushed for mass immigration into the United States. Millions of people that entered the United States at the turn of the century would not remember the previous culture or history, while newer buildings and cities were planned on top of the buried evidence of our past. History is rewritten by the victors. Falsified accounts of history. The Great Reset is happening right now, to intentionally displace populations for mass diaspora, destroying local culture, targeting children with false history and control ideology, introducing disease pandemics, engineer a false flag event or war, destroy and censor public records and public discourse, incite mass terrorism and confusion through media, invent classifications to anger and further divide the people, soft kill those that don't comply, rinse and repeat. As humans are being starved of our natural solar frequency levels, starved of oxygen, starved of pure water and foods, starved from connection with nature, starved from disconnection with our inner spirit, while being overlaid with lunar forces and artificial magnetism, we fell into a deep slumber. While we were in this state of slumber, controller bloodlines changed our timelines, erased our history, destroyed the evidence of artifacts, brought in the moon and stole our advanced knowledge by performing a great reset of erasing global records every 2,160 years, until more recently when they upped the game to every odd 100 years. Using catastrophic flooding as it efficiently buried many advanced civilizations under avalanches of mud or volcanic ash very quickly, which saved them the time and resources of destroying the evidence of civilizations by using directed energy weapons on a one-by-one basis. The radius of the moon is stated to be 1,080 miles. The diameter of the moon is stated to be double that at 2,160 miles. If we multiply the diameter by 108, we get the supposed distance between the Earth and Moon of 233,280 miles. Octagonal symmetric shapes, and the internal angles of any octagon is 1,080 degrees. We can notice octagon geometry can be found in many ancient structures built on powerful ley lines throughout the Earth grid, as well as black cube designs used for religious worship. This all goes back to the Moon and lunar control. The Moon, the Octagon Group, is the same group behind the current World Economic Forum and fourth wave of the transhumanist Great Reset that have a black sun chain of command extending to the Moon and other planets. The Moon as a magnet. The Moon as a magnetic weapon has been a part of their arsenal against human beings on the surface. Now we enter the first stages of the Great Awakening, where humanity learns more about the lost knowledge of human civilization and begins to recognize that the rewritten history is also much closer to us in current time. As just a few hundred years ago, we had access to levels of technology that are lost today, and now is the right time to gather the information and begin to pull on those threads that hold the fabric of time together. Human beings were not drooling cavemen, and we did not come from apes. Humans lived in an advanced technological culture with free energy as one people on one planet. All of the race, religion, sex and meaningless classifications were set up as discriminating factors for fabricating mind control belief systems. The Octagon Group and others, using lunar forces through genetic and social engineering to intentionally divide and conquer humanity. What if every single historical event you learned was an utter and total fabrication designed to indoctrinate the human population into the slave class? What if what we were taught about our nation, our culture, our way of life on the earth, our beliefs in medicine, history, religion, financial and economic theories were based upon intentionally crafted archontic deceptions and was a total and utter lie? Would it be possible to believe that up to approximately 200 years ago humanity had some areas with free energy sources, gorgeous architectural structures designed from the ancient builder races generating atmospheric energy, as proven by Tesla? The planet was covered with historical artifacts and indisputable evidence of our advanced human culture, until it was destroyed by directed energy weapons, floods or other weather cataclysms that were artificially generated. Who are we now without the false history and culture we have been brainwashed to accept as our own? With the Great Reset, the same warfare tactics that have been used against humanity several times already, to mind wipe our current history into another digression of complete and total consciousness slavery, this time as a transhuman robot. This is a defining moment in our historical timeline in order to face the truth of what is coming to be revealed about the lost knowledge of human civilization. Many awakening people are awakening to their higher role to be the investigator, truth seeker and curator of digging and finding these historical records, piecing together dates and historical accounts as an archivist, and providing a platform for the foundation of disseminating the release of some of these records into the public. This is a big piece supporting the global disclosure events, in piecing together the hidden human history, of even just the last 100 years. We do not have a trustworthy media, and so it will be up to some of us to act with integrity to serve humanity in this capacity. The rabbit hole will continue on into areas where we had not dared even to imagine. All human beings are exceptionally receptive and inclined to reverberate with resonating sound tones or energy waves, especially those that naturally emanate from the planetary body. When we can utilize sound waves such as harmonious music, words or tones that feel positively resonant in the cells of our body, we automatically increase inner harmony and coherence, which greatly strengthens our spiritual and physical immunity. To regain our minds and our health, we must regain the knowledge of the immense power behind sound technology and sonic geometries for spiritual healing through the science of cymatics, and how this information was actually at the foundation of building the energy circulating architecture of our technologically advanced human society in which poverty and disease was non-existent. To rediscover the profound nature of sound technologies that were used prior to the fall and lost knowledge of our advanced human civilization, we will be led to the importance of cymatics. Cymatics is the study of the relationship between geometric patterns which emit frequencies that are formed by sound vibrations and how these sound waves can directly influence and create forms in physical matter. We can think of cymatics as the study and knowledge of sound made visible, that which demonstrates through mathematical progression and geometric patterns the organizing power of sound, vibration and frequency. The harmonic series made within the trinity, the bass tones, the overtones and the resonating tone sequences within the natural laws that follow predictable math patterns in sonic geometries which can be traced in the study of cymatics. Cymatics is taken from the ancient Greek chyma, which means wave, in which energy waves and sound waves create systems of energy within ordered geometric patterns, which further transmit their relative frequencies into the environment. Many great philosophical minds from antiquity investigated the divine laws of nature in terms of cymatics, studying the natural world to determine the mathematical order and its relationship to sounds, musical tones, words and their impacts upon form and structure. Everything you can see and everything you cannot see in this reality is a vibrating sound frequency that has a geometric pattern which influences the quality of our consciousness and interconnection with all of life. Not that long ago, human beings on the planet knew this to be true in accordance to divine and natural laws, and this was commonly accepted knowledge throughout the human culture. Before the human race understood that the nature of reality was vibrating sound frequencies and math, and had developed many technological applications in which sound and frequency was being used in learning, healing, building, architecture, art and music, and to even help grow.
Back when, crack, that was a separate man, now they're not the crack,